He also what? Oh, crap. There was another. Yeah, we'll go.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
I can't remember.
Fine. He can edit it. What's the other thing?
Yeah, I got that.
I'm trying to remember the other.
Wait till we do this week's news episode and then go all about it.
There we go. Yeah. He was one of the Hutt's henchmen.
I believe he was also in Last Skywalker.
Wasn't he in?
I think.
Or Rogue One?
Probably.
Wasn't he one of the escaping slaves?
I think so.
Along with we'll just keep rattling it because that dude fucking works.
Yeah.
This has been full coverage of Warwick Davis's acting career, brought to you by Movie Toast. But
Still crunching.
hello, everybody, and welcome to the Movie Toast podcast. This is our reviews episode. I'm your One Direction lead singer Harry Styles, and I'm here with my Neil Horan, Adam.
Hey, I don't know what any of that is, but welcome to the show, everybody.
My Liam Payne, Dennis.
Ooh, I don't know who that is, but I'll roll One Direction with you.
And my Lewis Tomlinson, Tommy.
Oh yeah! I hope he used to do that because I have no idea who that is.
Wait, are we finding out that you're a One Direction fan, Corey?
No, but these groups of 4 people, I need to keep coming up with them, and I'm running out already. Which would make John our Zayn. It would make John our Zayn Malik because he's gone, and so is Zayn.
Yeah, no, Corey goes in the other direction.
There you
go. One Direction.
One Direction.
We're all the other.
Nice.
He flips a U and goes the other way.
Is that like?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
It sounded good, but I'm like, I'll just go with it.
But anyway, we're doing a reviews episode, everybody, and I hope we all came with something fresh. I'm going to start.
Yeah, go for it.
Tommy was the host a couple weeks ago, and he decided that he was going to start, and I was like, "Whoa,
breaking boundaries! Glass ceiling was shattered."
I should start. Yeah. So
podcast.
I went and I did I've been doing a lot of 80s things, trilogies lately. I watched Back to the Future parts 1, 2, and 3.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
There's no 4th one.
Well, I mean, if you want to count A Million Ways to Die in the West, he was Doc Brown was there.
Oh,
I don't want to count that.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to count that, and I hope I never, ever have to be sat through a remake of these films.
No.
No, they said they will
never
not do that.
Not even if Robert Downey Jr. and what's his name, Spider-Man.
Tom Holland.
Yeah, if they tried to do that, I wouldn't watch it.
Zemeckis and Gale both said they'll die with those movie rights. Fuck that.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's good because I don't want. They've already ruined literally everything else. I have nothing left. But
I have nothing left, ladies and gentlemen.
But they're good movies. This is another instance where if you haven't seen them, do it because it's so obvious that they're good and they're iconic and they're fun and there's memes of them all over the internet. Stuff like, the main characters of shows like Rick and Morty are loosely based off of Doc Brown and Marty McFly. So they're still here today, present, and there's a lot of attention to detail in these movies. I don't really want to go over Marty McFly, he goes back in time on a time machine, and then he has to go back to the future, which is the name of the movie. So that's what happens. And it's interesting. It's fun. I almost said it's fun for the whole family, but I got to give one caveat. The first movie is a lot more rapey than I remember.
Oh yeah, his mom wants him.
It was just like
he gets raped. It's terrible.
The scene with Biff. I mean, it's not
rough.
Lighthearted fun. I mean, there's some serious shit going on there. And, everywhere in the town square is every single place is a porno, adult film section. At least in the 80s. It's very strange. There's a lot of there's a lot of sex in that movie. for being something I watched a lot as a child.
Well, Corey, that's just the power of love, man.
Incest too, isn't that the right terminology?
That is the correct word. Yes.
Calvin Klein didn't see it coming.
It's like kissing my brother.
God.
Oh, you don't know how close you are.
But I think everyone should watch these films. They hold up. The computer generated effects don't hold up so well, but what do you want? I don't really think
the practical effects are awesome though. It more than makes up for that, I would argue. Yeah, dude.
How many? Okay, honestly, how many of you, when you watched it, whenever you watched it, the flames after? How many of you thought those were real flames on the street?
I'll say I did.
Yeah.
Sure.
As a kid, last week, not so much.
Can we talk about the beginning of the first one with the terrorists like in the mall parking lot?
The Libyan,
the Libyans.
Yeah,
that was intense. Why did that not pay off in the other movies? I want
with
more
the
of
RPG.
that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And then how? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It's all good. We all love this. Toasters. We all fucking love this movie. So it's.
Well, speak for yourself.
Most of us do.
Adam, you have a problem with these movies?
I used to, but then I went back and rewatched them, and boy, I love them. I love the second one the most.
Life in all of them.
Third,
Well, what about at the end of the first one when he comes back?
Well, no. I liked him. I'm just saying I love the second one.
No. Oh, separate from what you were saying. When he comes back, are we just ignoring the fact that the Libyans are still alive?
That's true.
They just crashed their van into a photo booth in the parking lot.
That guy on the roof? Probably not. That guy on the roof is probably dead.
Yeah.
One of the bad guys that died.
Also, with the Northridge PD, or I guess that's where it's shot, but like the Lone Pine or Twin Pines, depending on which timeline you're in.
Yeah.
When that police department shows up and there's a bunch of terrorists with like a rocket launcher in a van, they just I'm sure they got arrested or deported or something. Like,
I think for sure. Homeland Security on that one.
And I'm sure we're all aware when you're dealing with time travel, there are going to be plot holes throughout the movie.
Yeah.
I just recently came across a crazy from the second movie. You guys ready for this one?
Okay.
So when Biff steals the DeLorean, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes back in time to give the almanac, and then he travels back to 2015. Shouldn't he be in a different alternate timeline at that point? So he shouldn't be in the same timeline as Marty and Doc.
He could never have returned the time machine.
That's probably when I saw that, I'm like, oh.
And then
that takes the cake for me.
Oh yeah, because then Marty and Doc would then just disappear from the future because they never would have been able to go. But then that undoes the time machines ever getting made.
I'd like to see that version of the movie.
Gone back. The universe would collapse. So that would be like the 2-minute long version is the first. Sorry, yeah,
right, yeah. What Doc always threatens about the time paradox or whatever time ending. Yeah,
that brings
like a robot chicken sketch or something. Like that would be the whole movie in 20 seconds.
That's actually brings me to another point that I wanted to make, having recently watched all three. There is like Adam says, the second one's his favorite. There's a drop off in quality between the first one and then the second and the third one. All three are good. Don't get me wrong. We're dropping from like a 10 to like an 8.5. But there is, I believe, a drop off in just like general storytelling quality, character development, and it becomes a little bit more fan servicey in the second one. True. In the third one, I love the third one.
Third one's my favorite.
It's a fucking Western.
Oh, interesting.
I love that they went out and they're like, let's do something wacky.
It's like when you watch the Bruce Campbell films, and the first two are basically the same thing, and they're classic horror, and then the third one is totally ridiculous, Army of Darkness, and I love that because what it does is it kind of cleanses your palate of the binge of Back to the Future that you just did, and it sends you off in a different direction. Like, I won't talk about this movie, but I went and watched The Magnificent Seven after I watched the third one, because it's like after that,
did you watch The Ridiculous Six?
No, I hate that fucking movie. That's a stupid pile of pieces of shit.
I think basically
many pieces of shit compiled to make that movie.
Zemeckis has stated in interviews that the third one was simply he wanted to make a Western.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
But I think I will go from Magnificent Seven to the remake of Magnificent Seven to Seven Samurai and then to Rogue One because they're all the same movie. I just want to see the different iterations of that, but I'm off of Back to the Future.
So was the third your favorite? You said
no. It's just an interesting that it deviates so wildly from the first two.
Tommy,
the first one's the best for sure.
Do you have any tidbits?
Okay. So I have one quick one from each of the movies. You ready for this? So writers Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis actually received a fan letter from John DeLorean after the film's release, and this after the first film's release, thanking them for immortalizing his car. That was pretty cool. I liked that. The second film was the first film appearance by Elijah Wood. He plays one of the two video game boys to whom Marty speaks in the diner near the start of the film.
You got to use your hands.
Right, yeah. Oh, that sounds boring, or whatever the line was.
It's a baby's toy.
Yeah. Now, the third one, this one was interesting. I didn't find this out from IMDb. I found this out from the special features of one of the DVDs because I had the special 3-pack DVD when it came out before Blu-rays were a thing. When Buford Mad Dog Tannen tried to lynch Marty, Michael J. Fox was accidentally hanged for real. Ooh. It rendered him unconscious for a short time. Ooh. And that's the film. That's the version we see in the film. When he's up there and there's a point where you actually see him go limp. That was him unconscious on screen.
Fuck. Damn.
And he put that in his autobiography called Lucky Man that came out in 2002.
Very interesting.
So that was some Tommy's tidbits right there for you.
Nice.
Sweet.
So cool. Corey, sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd say green light or of all of them?
Yeah, they're green lights. I think if they ever show up back in theaters, which they might for some special screening or whatever, I would go watch all three in America.
I did that at the Egyptian 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Wow.
So maybe 7 years ago. It's great.
Oh, dude, awesome. What am I talking about? I was there for that.
Can I introduce maybe they should start going along with the ratings just in case this comes up, a little more often. Can we have a Hall of Fame or something?
Ooh.
We should.
With Indiana Jones, with Back to the Future, what if after, you do a review like you just did, and we put a toasty seal of approval on it, we should set aside a group of movies of these are always our gold standard level of.
Nice. I like that.
We'd love
Citizen
this.
Kane. I hear you.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh. It must be golden toasty brown on every corner. Every corner of that bread.
All four of us have to agree that it makes it in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull will have 2 votes.
Yeah. It's
it doesn't make it bad for discussion.
Somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
But, right.
Anyway, I did think, that's a good. Tommy's Tidbits is always a good jumping off point into somebody else's world to see what they were dealing with. I mean, let's just. Adam, what did you do?
What did I do? I sat my fat ass down and watched some Netflix original movie called The Willoughbys. It's an animated movie starring Ricky Gervais, Will Forte, Maya Rudolph, Martin Short, Jane Krakowski. I don't know, the lady from
Krakowski,
30 Rock. And pretty much it's about these 3 kids, they're siblings, and they're in one of the most prestigious families known as the Willoughbys. Throughout the ages, the Willoughbys have been rich, successful, loving, adventurous people. Until this line of the Willoughbys. There's a mother and father who are madly horny for each other. They have these kids, and they just have the kids fend for themselves. They're the worst parents in the world. They make Matilda's parents look like fucking superstar parents. So these kids decide. Oh, Terry Crews is in the movie too.
Shit!
Of course he is. Of course he is.
So the kids are finally fed up with this when an orphan shows up on their doorstep, and they want the orphan to be one of them. And the parents say, "You kids got to get out of the house until you get a home for this orphan, or you're all orphans." And so the kids leave the orphan at a candy factory, which is run by a very wacky guy who is Terry Crews. But
Willy Wonka?
Kinda, yeah. He's a general of sorts. Anywho, the kids decide they walk past a travel agency and they're like, oh wow, people pay to go around the world. Wait a minute, what if we make ourselves orphans? Let's put together a fake brochure of all the most dangerous places on the earth where our parents will undoubtedly get killed. And so they kind of put a scheme together, and the parents find it, and they're like, the thing that sells them on it is no kids allowed. And they're like, fuck it, let's do this. Let's get away from these kids. And so they go, and they're like, they get a nanny, and the kids are afraid of the nanny for a while. But the nanny's like, oh, wow, your parents seem terrible. They had you get rid of
Maya Rudolph, right?
Yeah. And
Mary
pretty
Poppins?
much, she's cooler than Mary Poppins. I mean, not as whimsical, but she's a badass. So this is a pretty crazy movie, and it's all told from an outsider's point of view, which is a cat voiced by Ricky Gervais. And they tell you in the beginning, this is not a heartwarming movie. Like, it's crazy, man. The art style is outrageous, and, like, I don't know if it's an adult movie or a family movie, but it's fucking wacky. I loved it. It's fun. I think it's based on some children's books, and I hope they do another one, to be honest with you. I'd say it's a green light.
It kind of has the feel... It
Yeah.
kind of has the feel of like Pixar's Incredibles, where it's for both the adults and the kids. Like there's the little subtleties that adults would find funny that kids would have no clue.
Yeah,
is
no,
what it
totally.
sounds like.
Yeah, and the
Well,
visuals.
that sounds
I don't know
cool.
what type of animation this is, but I like it. It's not your typical modern animation. It's kind of reminds me of like a moving painting, but a little CG. I don't know. It's pretty awesome.
I like
Is there anything else?
animation.
Oh yeah. Is there anything else you would compare the animation style to?
Honestly, I can't. To be truthful with you, I
that's
wish I could.
actually that's really cool.
And that's what sold me. I'm like, I don't know what this movie is, but I like the way it looks, so I'm going to check it out. And I was happy I did.
Where did you see this?
It's a Netflix original movie.
Netflix original.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Tommy, do you want to top us off with some tidbits?
I'm looking on here. There's a lot of stinkers.
That's fine. We don't always need a tidbit. Some movies just don't deserve a tidbit.
It's Netflix's second animated film to be rated PG after Klaus.
That's
this makes me
hilarious.
okay. Maybe this is in the vein of Klaus. I never saw it, but I know that had unique animation. And now, if I know this is in that realm, maybe I'll go and watch Klaus this Christmas.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh,
Well,
interesting. All right.
Tommy, I know that your movie is like 6 of the 8 letters of Adam's movie. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So it came out in 1988, and it is not called the Willoughbys. It is actually called Willow.
Oh.
This was a Ron Howard directed movie, written by George Lucas and Bob Dolman, starring Val Kilmer, Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
Billy Barty's in there, if you guys know Billy Barty. And then Kevin Pollak is, I think this was his first on-screen, maybe not.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Huh.
But this came out in 1988, and it's
That's
about
the year I was born.
Yeah.
Cool.
A young farmer is chosen to undertake a perilous journey in order to protect a special baby from an evil queen. Very, very sci-fi. And it's, I want to say it's a Disney movie. I'm
I
pretty
think
sure it's
so.
a Disney movie.
Willow's a Disney movie?
I think it
Or
is,
maybe
yeah.
it was like a Touchstone or something, because it's a little more.
It's under
Maybe.
the Disney umbrella.
Yeah. I watched it on Disney
Never
Plus,
knew
so.
But yeah,
It's on there.
they recently acquired a bunch of stuff. Is
Oh,
this like
okay.
an original Disney thing?
I don't think it was.
I wouldn't say that.
Lucasfilm.
Look that up. Yeah, it was a
I think it was
Lucasfilm, so
Lucasfilm.
it was probably Fox. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyways,
Now, also,
um,
this is also a medieval movie on top of all that other
Oh,
stuff.
definitely medieval. Yeah, no guns, no time travel.
Fantasy.
Huh?
Fantasy.
Sci-fi,
More, yeah.
fantasy, definitely.
Right? Nice.
I mean, it's got goblins and
Yeah.
evil witches and sorcery and wizards and spells and all that stuff.
That does sound cool.
Yeah,
I
and
actually haven't seen this. I'm intrigued by your review. Sorry. I didn't.
I did not like
yeah,
this
no,
movie,
no.
but just saying goblins and witches, it's been years. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go watch it.
Oh yeah, and it's. I mean, there's funny scenes. Val Kilmer is amazing in this movie. It's a really young Val Kilmer, and he's got a lot of funny quips and stuff, and a lot of action scenes. And I mean, what else is there to say? You know, it's a long movie, 2 hours and 6 minutes, so it's going to take you a while to get through it.
Now, if I recall, are there a lot of like slow points in the movie? I feel like that's why I dislike it as much as I do.
There are
like
some slow.
Dragged.
There are some slow scenes in the middle, but honestly, like if you get through those slow scenes, the action scenes well make up for the slow scenes.
So, are you pumped for the inevitable Disney Plus Willow series?
I did not know about that.
Oh, there's been some brewing. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I'll watch it.
With Warwick himself being back in it.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
This movie was fucking produced by MGM. That is real. Unreal. Okay.
But yeah, green light. You know, if you've never seen it, definitely green light. If you have seen it, it's probably been a while, because I'll tell you, before Disney Plus, I actually wanted to watch Willow.
Nice.
This was probably like a year ago or less, maybe. But I couldn't find it. Wasn't on demand. Wasn't on HBO. Couldn't find it on Netflix. I found a Blu-ray copy of it, but it was like 20 something bucks, and I wasn't going to pay that. And then it showed up magically on Disney Plus. I'm like, fuck yeah, I get to watch this again now. Great. So chances are it's probably been a while if you have seen this, so I would still give it a green light. Go ahead, watch it again. But as for the tidbits, can I give a couple tidbits?
Shoot them tidbits at us.
So
Tommy, you can't, man. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The producers are telling us we gotta end this show.
I got two.
Go
Is
ahead.
that right?
Yeah.
So Warwick Davis, when you do watch this, you need to know Warwick Davis was only 17.
Oh, no
when he made
shit.
this.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you see him in the film, that's a 17-year-old Warwick Davis there.
Holy shit.
And the other tidbit is, according to Warwick Davis, the film had the largest ever casting call for little people at the time. There were between 225 and 240 actors, and that ended up being hired for the film.
That's crazy.
Little people actors. Yeah.
Can I add a Corey's Crunch Wrap to this?
Yeah.
Which is like a speculation. I believe I read somewhere, I think it's in A Life, the George Lucas book, that Warwick Davis is the Ewok that Princess Leia interacts with.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
And that's how he got this role with George Lucas.
I believe that.
Oh, shit.
Oh, and he's the leprechaun in all the leprechaun movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That's right.
Jen Aniston, fucking my main man Wayne Knight.
Oh, nice.
I think we should move on to Dennis's movie. He came in here this week with super secret, not telling me what he's watching.
Ooh.
Or I forgot.
No, he told us, but the
Or you
title, I don't even know what that was.
And let's find out together, Adam.
Me too. I want to
I'm
find out.
excited.
All right. My movie this week is Close. It is from 2019, and I was able to view it on Netflix. Tells a tale of a female bodyguard who is hired to protect the heiress of a mining empire, and on the eve of a huge deal, signing this huge mining contract, the heiress is targeted for assassination, and this lone bodyguard takes her under her wing. Technically, the job is done for her. She's like got her from point A to point B, but she knows that if she leaves right now, she's going to leave this girl on her own, and she's going to die. So she takes matters into her own hands. Starts running her all over there. Most of the movie takes place in Morocco.
Nice.
And it's running around city streets. Intercutting between her and the girl's stepmother seems to be the villain, where she's orchestrating her kidnap while using the local police force and paying them off to try to kidnap her and hide her away. There's this movie had just fucking had me in the first 2 minutes. It just opens cold on the job she's wrapping up, and she's escorting some news outlet through a militarized zone, someplace where some local military combat is going on, some type of rebellion or something. It's not really, I don't think it actually illustrates specifically where she's supposed to be. It just kind of suggests this is some bad shit.
Now, is this an actress that we know, or is this like
yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Naomi Rapace. She's
shit.
The last thing I saw her on personally was the Tom Clancy series on Amazon Prime, but she was in the original Girl with Dragon Tattoo series of films.
She's a badass in those.
Prometheus.
Yes.
That's what I know her from.
And Prometheus. Yep, she's star of that, and I like that movie too. She is a fucking badass again. Like, she nails it again. And like I was saying, that first 2 minutes, man, I was hooked.
Is this a Netflix original, or
actually,
I've never heard of it? I'm very excited now.
I don't think it's a Netflix original.
Okay. I was actually just looking that up. I could swoop over for a second.
There's a lot. I remember there was a lot of title cards, so that's all. But it's actually, yeah. Corey, do you have that, or did you happen to find that?
Yeah, I do have it. It's produced by Jewson Films and Whitaker Media. And it was distributed on DVD and Blu-ray in Germany by Eurovideo and Netflix everywhere else.
Interesting.
Netflix originally distributed.
Never heard of any of those places. Interesting.
Yeah, it has like the tells in the beginning of just like, oh man, I'm not really sure like what kind of budget did this movie get? Like, is this going to start looking cheesy really fast? Not at all. At least not to me. It has a great pace. The cinematography it's not like, there's nothing like super gorgeous. I liked some of the desert shots in the beginning. Once we hit the interiors, it's not uber creative, but it gets the job done. The tone of the movie though is fantastic. And Miss Rapace fucking kills it. She just, that and all of the bad guys, like it's a fun ride. It's not a super complex story, and it's got a couple little turns in it. I'm not even gonna call it like a whole twist because I don't want to blow it up out of proportion, because you start to see it coming. You start to kind of see it go there. But there's an underwater fight scene. There is just these gnarly. The house that they're supposed to be hiding out in has all of these like state-of-the-art security measures that do some fucked up things. Like it's a fun ride. It's a good like summertime popcorn blockbuster movie.
Wow.
You sold me on it.
It totally has that tone.
And it's on Netflix right now?
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Netflix
Close?
right now. Close.
Netflix green light.
Yes, sir. I enjoyed it. I actually just watched that this morning, and I couldn't put it down.
That's a sign of a good movie.
Would you say it's rated R?
Yes, easily. There's
the
violence is pretty intense once it gets going. It's not. Let's put it this way. It's not too violent. So there's like the R-rated movie of violence that my mom tolerates, and then there's the R-rated movie violence that I tolerate. This is one you could watch with your mom.
It's subdue. It's like melancholy. Like it's just violent enough.
You're gonna see like there's some blood, and it's like she's gonna shield her eyes, but the intensity of the other scenes is really cool. Like it reminds me of like fight sequences in some of the Bourne movies where you see the main character get hurt. It's not all this one-sided. I'm a fucking super soldier. It's
good.
I'm so experienced. I know, you're going to be taking a few shots before you wait for that one opening and fucking kill him.
Now, what's the runtime like on this? Is it a long, medium?
Shit. I should
have
had that up at me
too.
94 minutes. 94 minutes.
Fuck. So is the action just pushing it like a freight train moving?
No, actually, I think they use it in good measure. Like there are points where you'll go 2 or 3 scenes where there isn't like a gunfight or a fist fight, but it's that impending doom because there's still that there's the thriller kicks in, and it's much more about who's behind the assassination attempt really, and where are they safe? There is no place safe really. They can't hide anywhere and know that someone's going to come looking for come help them. They're constantly on edge. The main character has been on edge for years. Like they do a really good amount of developing her character without having to hand feed you a lot of things. Like she's not saying ... It's you got to kind of pick up a few hints kind of quick as they go by. Yeah, solid movie.
Nice.
Highly endorsed.
Awesome.
Nice. Tommy, you want to hit us with a Tommy's Tidbits of trivia?
So there's 2 tidbits. One of them's a stinker, so I'm going to add a tidbit from, what's her name? Nomi? Rapace?
Yeah.
However you pronounce it. I'm going to add one from her tidbits.
Oh.
So in addition to doing all her own stunts in Close, she also speaks fluent Icelandic. And she only lived in Iceland for only a few years as a child. But she also speaks Danish, Norwegian, English, and her native Swedish.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
That's a lot of languages.
Yeah.
So that's
awesome.
Tommy's tidbits for you.
If the audience wants to look us up on IMDb, they can do that in addition to contacting us in other places where we actually are and could interact with them.
Ooh.
Adam, would you like to tell us what a few of those are?
Oh, honey, baby, boy, I would love to. I don't know what that was. I was channeling a past host or something. Yeah, if you could come visit us at Reddit, at Instagram, at Twitter, and at Discord. We're always available. You just got to put us in at movie_toast, and also YouTube. Please, we really want to interact with you guys, and we're doing a series of interviews called Toasty Talk, where we could interview you, and it's going to be on our YouTube page, so please get at us.
It's a lot of fun.
You could also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, which would help with the other people find us, which, you know, I guess that's fine.
And you'll get a shout out on one of our episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Keep it toasty, folks.
Stay inside.